lesson. Okay, go ahead and you're going to do some matching on your Nearpod. So go ahead and do that. You're matching the probability of rolling a number cube. So look up at my screen. It says you're rolling a number cube. So remember, a number cube has 6 sides. So think about it. What is the probability of rolling an even number? How many even numbers are on a number cube? This should be basic review for you. Junior, you haven't started your probability. Santiago, if you have questions, make sure you're asking. William, no has ni empezado. Let's go. Hey, Sus, I'm not going to tell you again. Put your head up, all the way up. It's not bedtime. Okay, let's go over it really quick. So we're looking at rolling a number cube. Remember, a number cube has 6 sides. So if this is asking, what is the probability Hold on, sorry. Okay, so what's the probability of rolling a 3? Remember, our number cubes have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If we're looking at the probability of rolling a 3, how many 3s are in a number cube? There's 1 3. And how many total numbers are there? There are 6. So the probability of rolling a 3 is 1/6. Remember that P in front of the parentheses means probability of. And we've been going over this. You guys even did your test last week. So this should not be new to you. The probability of rolling less than a 5. Which numbers are less than 5? Ruby, what is it? 1 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's how many numbers? 4 out of how many total? 6. So 4, 6, which I then simplified to 2/3. Remember, you can simplify using your calculator. Let's look at even numbers. Emily, which numbers are even?
2, 4, 6.
2, 4, and 6, which is how many numbers?
3,
3 out of
6.
3 out of 6. Perfect, which we then simplified to 1/3. Alvin, go ahead and take that off, and it can go in your backpack if you're going to keep putting it on. Last one, 1 or 4. How many 1s are there, Karen? 1. And how many 4s are there? 1. So together that makes how many? 2. So that's 2 out of 6. Perfect. Which we then simplified to 1/3. So we're going to keep coming back to this review because we need to know how to do it really, really well. Because if we can't do the simple ones, then we won't be able to do the compound ones. So let's look at some vocabulary. It says in probability, there's a very important distinction between the words and or. So and means that the outcome has to satisfy both conditions at the same time. Or means that the outcome has to satisfy one condition or the other or both at the same time. So all of that to say, you're going to write this in your notebook because you are going to need it. So you're going to write something like this. And or. So title that in your notebook. And or. Let me see if it'll let me. Let's do another screen. And or. Let me see if I can pop up another screen real quick. Okay, I'm going to do another little sheet real quick so that way you guys can take the notes. Oh my gosh, so slow. Okay, so you should have and or in your notebook. So it says and I do want you to have the definition in there, so I'm going to grab it real quick. So and means the outcome satisfies both conditions at the same time. So write that real quick. Okay, so when I'm looking at and we're gonna make it as simple as we can. When I see that word and in the probability problem, that means once I have my fractions written out, I am going to multiply. We've been looking at or a lot. So up until now that we're only seeing or, now we're going to be saying and. And it's so hard to find those kinds of problems in format. Like, I don't know where I'm going to pull the stuff from for next week. Because I've run out of anything I could really find on Schoolnet, and there's like, I want to be able to do more examples of the things we're doing this week, and I couldn't find too many. Then or means that the outcome, sorry, because my letters look horrible, I am so sorry, has to satisfy one condition or the other or both. And with or, we are adding. Okay, I'm giving myself 15 minutes to finish the lesson. Okay, about 30 more seconds to finish writing this down. Okay, Randy, I will reshare. You were not logged on when I shared it the first time. Fifteen more seconds and I am moving on. Okay, if you're not done, I'll come back to it at the end so you can finish writing it down, but we're going to move on because there is a lot to do today. Number 1, it says Kelly will roll a number cube labeled 1 to 6. What is the probability Kelly will roll a number greater than 3? So this one's super, super simple. This is one of the ones that we've been working with. So I want you to go ahead and solve on your own. It says Kelly will roll a number cube labeled 1 to 6. What is the probability Kelly will roll a number greater than 3? You might want to start by writing out all the numbers on the number cube. Circle the ones that are greater than 3. All you're doing is finding the probability. Okay, so if I write all my numbers down, so it's a number cube. I have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. William, what numbers are greater than 3? ¿Cuáles números son mayores que 3? Dímelos. Perfect. How many numbers? ¿Cuántos son? 3. 3 de cuántos números en total? How many total? 6. Perfect. Is that my answer? Am I finished? I gotta simplify. When I simplify, what do I get? 1/2. Perfect. So my answer should be B. Nice job, William. Let's look at number 2. Okay, so this one is a little different. This one, I want you to write it down in your notebook. So that first one was a let's get warmed up problem. This one, write it in your notebook. Escríbanlo dentro de la libreta. All the words. I'm going to go ahead and start reading it. It says, in a bag, there are 5 cards numbered 1 to 5. Each time a card is randomly selected, it is replaced in the bag. What is the probability Marcia will select an even numbered card first and then an odd numbered card? Okay, I'm going to read it the second time, and I'm going to underline my important information. It says, in a bag, there are 5 cards numbered 1 to 5. So this part is important because it's telling us what we're working with. Each time a card is randomly selected, it is replaced in the bag. So this is also important, and we're going to be looking more at that this week. But replaced in the bag means she put that card right back in the bag. What is the probability Marcia will select an even numbered card first and then an odd numbered card? And it says even numbered card and an odd numbered card. So right there we're seeing that key word. And from our notes, we said and means that we're doing what? Are we going to multiply or are we going to add? We're going to what? We're going to multiply. So let me show you how I would work this out. And I'm going to put my little multiplication sign there. I want to make sure everyone's paying attention before I start working it out. Once you're done writing, put your pencil down so that I know that I can keep going. Okay, so how many cards does Marcia have in the bag? She has 5 cards in the bag. Now, that's not the only important thing. What are the cards labeled? What numbers are they? 1 through 5. So I have cards 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that part is important because sometimes it might say there are 5 cards in the bag labeled 11 through 15. And so those numbers are different from 1 through 5. Each time a card is selected, it's replaced. What's the probability she'll pick an even number first and then an odd number? So I know I'm looking at one event and then a second event because first she's doing one thing and then she's doing another. My gentlemen that are writing, if you're still writing, I want you to stop and look up because I need you to know what we're doing. So si están escribiendo, paren y presten atención. So we have even numbered card and then an odd numbered card. And we said and means we're doing what? Multiplying or adding? Multiplying. So I'm going to add this multiplication right here in the middle. So if I'm looking at an even numbered card first, how many even numbers are there? There are 2 even numbers. I have 2 and I have 4. So that's 2 even numbers out of how many cards? There's 5 cards. Good. Now I'm going to look at and then. How many odd numbers are there? 3. I have 1, 2, and 3. So I have 3 over how many cards? 5 cards. Okay, so I have both of my events. So now I multiply. And we know how to multiply fractions. What's 2 times 3? It is 6. And what is 5 times 5? 25. And then I got to check, my answer choice is there. I can check to make sure that I simplified it. Is this my most simplified answer? Is it? Well, I know 3 goes into 6, but it doesn't go into 25. It is, right? So our answer is 6 out of 25. But you should always check just to make sure. So our answer is 6 out of 25. So now we're going to look at our second problem, and we're going to see if it's the same or if it's different. Go ahead and make sure that you have the steps written down underneath. So terminen de escribir los pasos. Les voy a dar 30 segundos para si no lo tienen. Yeah, todos los pasos, porque si nada más tienes el problema escrito, pero no tienes los pasos, igual que si nada. Vas a mirar el problema y decir, ¿y entonces qué hicimos? ¿Y cómo averiguo cómo hacer esto? No sé. No escribí los pasos. Like today, he comes in. The modules weren't showing up. But what do you think my friend over here does? He just sits there. But then Karen's like, where's the module? Are we on week 17? And I'm like, oh, so you've been sitting there staring at your screen for the last 10 minutes. 5 segundos. Okay, next. Whoop. I got the marker in my pocket. Okay, so next problem. It says Alicia has a number cube labeled 1 to 6. She will roll. I knew I forgot to do something. Forgot to make all the problems this week for them to write on.
Yeah.
So I was like, why is it looking so weird? She will roll the number cube 1 time. What is the probability Alicia will roll 3 or a 4? So now I'm going to show you how to do this one. And we've sort of been looking at these. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can do this one, because I don't want you to think that there's only one way you can solve it. So Alicia has a number cube, and the number cube, it's important. I know it has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. She will roll the number cube 1 time. What's the probability she'll roll a 3 or a 4? So we're looking at the same thing. So I'm going to show you one way to do it, and I'm going to show you a second way to do it. So the first way is the same way we've been doing up until now, right? How many 3s are there in my problem? There's 1 3, and how many 4s are there? 1. So 1 plus 1 gives us how many? 2 out of how many total numbers? 6. And when I simplify 2 6, it gives us what? Okay, say that one more time. I didn't hear anybody. 1/3, thank you. So we got 1/3, our answer is C. But there is a second way that you can do it. So with it saying or, we know that or means, is it multiplication or addition? We said it was addition, right? So if we're looking at rolling a 3 or a 4, I could also do, I know that the probability of rolling a 3 is what? 1 out of how many? 1 out of 6. And the probability of rolling a 4 is what? 1 out of 6. And when I add it, because our bottom number is common denominator, what's 1 plus 1? 2 over 6, common denominator, same thing. And I simplify it, and it's 1/3. So that's just another way to do the same problem. I personally like to do it this way, but I know some people like to do it the second way. That's up to you. I went 1 minute over, and I got one more problem. Okay, last problem. Lindsay rolled a 6-sided number cube, labeled 1 through 6, twice. What is the probability that Lindsay rolled a number greater than 2 on the first and an even number on the second? So she rolled a number cube, labeled 1 through 6, 2 times. What is the probability that she'll roll a number greater than 2 on the first and an even number on the second? So we're looking at and. Are we adding or multiplying? We are going to multiply. We're multiplying our first fraction times our second fraction. Emily, which numbers are greater than 2?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Perfect. That's how many numbers?
4.
4 out of
6.
Perfect. And then even number. Ruby, which numbers are even? 2, 4, and 6, which is how many numbers? 3 out of 6. Perfect. So now we're just multiplying across. What is 4 times 3? 12. What is 6 times 6? 36. Perfect. Sounds good. Sorry, I forget that you guys can't hear the people on the mic. What is 12 over 36 simplified? 1/3. Perfect. So our answer would be D. Okie dokie. So now moving forward, I'm going to switch to the next slide in a second. The following people have not finished their project who are either at home or online right now. So Alvin, you have not finished your test. Jesus, you have not finished your test. Yvonne and Emily, you have not finished your test. Annabelle, you have not finished your test. And Santiago, you have not finished your test. You are going to take the remainder of class to continue to work on it. Those of you who are finished, you are working on your classwork. My two gentlemen in the back, William and Garniel, you are not finished with your test. Me lo entregaron, pero no terminaron. So se los voy a volver a abrir